So I'm out here at the Tamihi project. This is the drillers showing we found massive sulphide chunks on the road above us about 3 weeks ago, and they were all over the road. There's mineralization in the bedrock, disseminated. In the fractures of the rock you find pyrite with minor chalcopyrite. And so since we've been here, they've actually extended this little area here about 20 meters. Over where that red flag is where I found some nice mineralized samples before coming into the bank. And so what I see is a silicous rock, almost chert-like, and you can see fractures of the rock here. You have breccia with some sulphides. See coarse pyrite. A few chunks of chalcopyrite in there. So this I just pulled off from right in here along in this fracture. So we're going to search this area here along this stretch of road and see what else we can find. Over about 15 meters from that last area, you can see this really rusty area here. Has mineralization coming down through here. See the sulphides in there. So pulled a few samples out of here, just in this area here, down here, below here. You can see stringers, pyrite with minor chalcopyrite. And here's some pieces that I just took out from this section right here. Remove some samples from up there, here, and down here, just to give you an idea of the mineralization. So this is the sample from top to bottom. You can see the pyrite and a bit of chalcopyrite in there. Next sample down. These are some pieces here from just right here. Same with this one. And the last piece here comes from the bottom, right down there. So an interesting little showing, about a 1/2 meter in width. You also have mineralization in the outside host, but again, in all the fractures all along here. So we've come up above to the upper drillers showing. Directly below this road you have another road, circles around, and that's where we just were. So we've come up a long strike, and you can pull boulders out of here like this. They've ripped into the bedrock here, especially down farther. They've bedded the road with the material they've pulled out. And I'm going to show you some samples. We've walked about 200 meters of this road and pulled off various samples, a couple float samples from the road as well. So here's a piece of bedrock, pyrite with minor chalcopyrite, chert and quartz. Here's another piece similar from close to that area. This is actually a chunk from a boulder I broke off of this. Here's another piece. And more from bedrock. And those last two pieces come from right there. About 100 meters away, we found this. A little bit of chalcopyrite. Again, with your brecciated silicous cherty quartz-like rock. Another sample from that area. A little bit of bornite there. Good amount of chalcopyrite though here. Similar chalcopyrite. And this is the last piece. This is just a piece I found on the road. You can see chert with disseminated pyrite. A nice big chunk of pyrite right there. So I just came down a bit from the upper road there. There's a small little side road pull out here, and I'm noticing samples all along here. So I'm kind of in the middle between the upper and the lower area. And I'm seeing some mineralization in some of these samples here laying on the bank. So found some outcrop. It looks very interesting. So let's go have a look. So this is similar to the material you see up there, as well in the lower one. And I've pulled a few samples off of random areas in this outcrop. I'm in the middle of it right now. It goes all the way around, down below, and all the way up. I can walk up here and get to the road. The upper driller's showing, but here's a few samples that I just chipped out. Again, very similar material with your cherty rock, or your chert-like rock. Very silicous, disseminated, patchy, and stringer sulphides, and occasionally you have semi-massive, small to medium-sized lenses all throughout this. So I'm around the back side now take a look at this. The whole outcrop goes back about 30 meters. It's all mineralized, and this heads back in this direction. Strike of the bedrock lines up with your lower showing as well as the upper showing. So it's likely this is all one continuous area here, continuous showing. See just how weathered this is. So I'm above the outcrop, almost up at the upper road area. These are the few samples I hammered off the outcrop down below. And there's plenty all around, as you can see. So that's where I just came from, through the bushes there, and I'm directly on strike. This area here, and you can see you have sulphides all through here. I don't know if you can see back in there, but it's at least a meter and a half in width going this way. Bunches up right against the overburden here. But I've pulled samples off and you can see the massive sulphides. Semi-massive there. See the chalcopyrite. And this likely tracks from here all the way down to the lower road. There's 3 showings, large showings. Here, middle, and lower. And you have mineralization in a 200-meter stretch on the upper, middle, and lower area. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.